IVM.
Are you looking for smarter ways to invest in gold? End your search at gold mutual funds. These funds give you all the benefits of owning pure gold without you having to hold it in the physical form. Also, the fund uses the power of gold to let you accumulate wealth for your financial goals. Since gold mutual funds are a relatively safer haven over other options, you may invest in them to diversify your overall investment portfolio. Avail the golden opportunity now. At Paytm Money, the option to invest in the best gold mutual funds in a simple and convenient manner starts with as low as Rs 100. Download the Paytm Money app from the Play Store, get your KYC done, and become investment ready instantly. Ab gold mutual funds ke liye bhi Paytm karo. Folks, welcome to Paisa Vaisa. I'm your host Anupam Gupta, B50 on Twitter, and I hope all of you are staying safe. And a thanks to everyone out there who's keeping us safe at home. Today's episode, the Know Your Advisor special. My guest, Gursimran Singh, a fee-only SEBI Registered Investment Advisor based in Delhi. We're going to be talking about a lot of things related to financial advice. Now, there's a whole lot of categories of people out there. Some are distributors, some are advisors, and then you also have many more. They run on different fees, different commissions, and to explain how this entire process works, because as we know, financial advice is really valuable, not only in these current times, but in general also. And to walk us through the various categories of these advisors and distributors, Gursimran is going to help us to understand all of them. So Gursimran, welcome to Paisa Vaisa. Thank you so much for doing this for us. Let's start with an introduction to yourself, along with a background. When you were in college, did you say that when I grow up, I want to be advising really rich people on how to handle their money?
Right. Thank you, Anupam. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for inviting me. So, as my background is concerned, my family was into business, and my grandfather was into Punjabi folk singing. He's a well-recognized name there. So
Wow.
He won Padma Shri also in 1980.
Oh, awesome, man. You didn't consider singing yourself. Good Lord. I mean, Punjabi music is really popular these days, yeah?
Right. In fact, just recently, Diljit has given tribute to my grandfather on MTV.
Oh boy. Okay, tell. Okay, just small mention for your grandfather so that our listeners can go and check them out, because it's not often that I have a glorious Sardar on our show. So please tell us about that, Gursimran.
So his name is Asa Singh Mastana.
Aisha, how nice.
So you heard of the song Kali Teri Gutte Paranda Tera Lani? So
actually, come on. Of course, yes. We know that. Huh?
So originally it was sung by my grandfather.
Oh, that's lovely. Very good.
So he used to be part of many delegation. Like in 1954, he went with Raj Kapoor, Nargis for Russian-Indian delegation in 1954. So
we can have a separate discussion on this. I'm a big fan of Punjabi music. Anyway, let's get back. Tell me.
Yeah. So that was my family background. So, but my thought process was that I want to be a self-made person. So after school, I didn't join my dad's business, and I started working as a kitchen helper in fast food chain. Just I want to be man of my own destiny. So slowly, I worked well in my career. Done my management education from IIM Calcutta, from Symbiosis, and started working heading departments for Fortune 500 companies, managing projects worth thousands of crores. So then during that time, my thought process was that I want to be a financial independent and didn't rely on my family money. So when I achieved my financial independence, and then I moved into SEBI RI, because what I have achieved in my life, I want to help people to achieve in their own life, to achieve financial independence. So that is one part. The second part is my lifelong passion. I started investing when I was when I was 14 years old only. So I used to help my dad's CA in managing investments. So it's a lifelong passion, stock markets and all. So that's how I got into this, and this is a little bit of my background.
Yeah, that's quite interesting, Gursimran. So you've already got a lot of experience in this field. So let's jump into this here. What is it out there? What are the categories of advisors, distributors, this entire world of advice that we have out there, right? Because if someone is looking to just figure out what's the best SIP for him, all the way to an HNI who has a massive portfolio and wants help in figuring out his asset allocation. So from the most basic to the highest, there's a whole lot of advice out there.
Right.
So just walk our listeners through the various categories out there. Tell us.
Okay, so first of all, advisor is a very used and abused word in the Indian context because everyone is using that word. So first of all, as per the SEBI regulation, only SEBI RIs, which I am, are supposed to call themselves advisor. It's a regulation by the government. Your insurance agent, mutual fund distributor, relationship managers, family offices, people, anyone who is not regulated by SEBI RI regulation is not an advisor. Okay. And coming back to the different spectrum of clients, so I deal from a person who just started his job to the person who's an HNI worth 100 crores and above and doing businesses. So everyone has a different need and requirement. So as a SEBI RI, we deal with all spectrum of clients. So for example, I have clients from armed forces, doctors, lawyers, architect, HNI, salaried freelancers. So it's a very customized and a very tailor-made service of financial advisory. So we cannot brush everyone. We cannot have the same thought process for everyone. So that's the reason SEBI RI this is a very tailor-made stuff. So that's the reason to answer your question, we have an RI, we deals with all this. And for HNIs, we have family offices, but they are mostly like your gold clients and banks. So it's more of a banking services. So it's not purely as advisory services.
Okay, Gursimran, I'm also interested in the advisors who don't charge you a fee. What you told
Right.
us was probably about fee only planners or people who actually do this as a service to a client.
Yes.
Also an entire category of people who are distributors. I'll give you some background on this, right? Because whenever someone wants to first start learning more about how to invest,
yes,
okay, he probably goes on to Google and does his own stuff, and then finally, so that's one way of doing it. The other way is the friends and family way. You just ask a friend, here koi recommendation do, tip do, advice, and you'll have someone or the other who is into all this, and that's informal advice. So,
right.
And then there is something called a distributor. What exactly is a distributor? Because he also does not charge me. So he doesn't charge me any fee. And it might charge me fee, but this distributor guy, what exactly is he and what is the regulation, on that?
All right. So there is a saying that free advice is more costlier than a paid advice.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, and secondly, the distributor who at the face value will say they're not charging anything, but if you're investing with a distributor, okay, every year there's a commission which is getting deducted from your mutual fund investment every year, whether your funds are performing or whether they are not performing. So, just to give an example, if a distributor tell you to put 1 crore in a certain mutual fund, they will say, so we will not charge any money, but every year. So there is a thing called regular plan and a direct plan. So distributor will always tell you to invest in a regular plan because in that is laced with commissions. A direct plan is something in which there is no commission. So this is very costly because if you put 1 crore every year, you will have to give 1 lakh. And there's not only one-time fee. As your portfolio will keep on increasing, your commission will also keep on compounding. Right. Because it's 1% of your assets. So today is 1 crore. Next year, if your portfolio increases to 2 crore, then it is 2 lakh, then 3 lakh. So keep on increasing.
Wow. Okay.
And secondly, and the most scary part is that distributors have been given incentives to suggest this particular product because they will not suggest you index funds or in which there is no commission. They will only recommend funds which are new in the market or which they have a lot of commission. So it's a very biased advice given by the distributors. And on the other hand, of RIs, they follow the fiduciary standard set by SEBI. So their only source of income is you, the client. They are not associated with any mutual fund companies. They are not associated with any insurance companies. They can only recommend direct plans. So there, the transparency factor is very much there, which is very comforting to a lot of my clients.
Very interesting. So let's talk about this, the income part, the source of income part. You said that for an advisor such as yourself, the only source of income is the fees that you charge the client. But what about distributors? Where do they get the income from? And one part is, and the other part is percentages. Like, can you just walk us through, like, if a distributor comes to me selling a regular plan of a mutual fund, typically how much how much commission does he get? And if Gursimran comes to me for advice for my portfolio, how much will he charge? Let's just talk about the
All right.
out here.
All right. So let's take the example of 1 crore. Okay. So for example, if you give 1 crore to the distributor, okay, distributor will invest in those mutual funds in which are NFO. You heard of things called NFO, new funds offering and all. So funds always suggest give commissions in those funds which are not selling great. So the commission, they will charge you 1% to 1.5% commission on an annual basis. Okay, so you will not see that from your eye that your money is getting deducted. But if it's a regular plan, you can just make out a difference on a website that a regular plan will have 2.5% mentioned there. A direct plan will have 1% only. So that 1.5% is a difference which distributor will charge every year from your portfolio. It's automatically getting deducted. Okay, you will not even aware of that. So they are basically so as per SEBI regulation, they can only sell the products, they cannot give the advice. So that's the reason, that's the one part. In SEBI RI, there are two concepts. One is a fee only, second is a fee based. So fee only one is whether you have 1 crore, whether you have 10 crores, I will charge the flat fee from you. Okay? That is one. Fee base is it's like a AUM based fee. So if you give me 1 crore, the 2% of 1 crore, 2 lakhs I'll charge. If you give me 10 crores, I'll charge 20 lakhs.
Understood. Okay.
So that's a fee based and a fee only in SEBI RI. And I'm a flat fee based. So you give me 1 crore or 10 crores, I'll charge the same fee to you. And distributor, as per the commission set by the mutual fund companies, they will charge fees from you. Actually, that's not a fees, Anupam. That is more of a commissions.
Yeah.
That's the right word.
Yeah. So there's a lot of regulation that SEBI has also been doing on this, and that gets more confusing, right?
Yes.
For example, there is another category that has caused some amount of controversy in the sense that I don't know whether you call them an advisor or whatever, but people who offer an advisory service, that they probably run a portfolio. And
PMS.
Yes, they could be a PMS, could be, just an individual who has his own website and who's registered as an advisor. And he says, this is my selected stocks for the next 1 year, 10 years or something. And
yes.
Tell us something about that, because this is a gray area,
You're right. You're absolutely right.
An advisor like you would come to me and I would tell you that, listen, this is my investment portfolio right now, and you would help me actually break it down according to my goals, and for that, charge me a fee.
Right.
But another category out there, which also call themselves advisors, and they say, listen, you give me your money, and I will handle that as a portfolio service. Now, some of it could be a PMS, some of it could be something else. So just tell us what exactly is this category?
Okay. So very good question. So I just give you an example. Like, for example, in my case, so when a client comes with, they said that please create a portfolio for me. Okay. So I have 10 crores with me. So I help them in creating international and both domestic portfolios for them, ETFs, REITs and all that. So basically what I tell them is that this is the portfolio you need to create. But in my case, the client has to go to their discounted brokers like Zerodha, Paytm and buy stuff from there. Okay. So that is, the client has to take the action. We are not the asset managers. We are the advisory. So a pure advisory definition is a person who just gives the advice but doesn't take assets under their management. Okay. So now coming back to second, the people who are SEBI RI who take advice, there's not legally anything wrong in that. Like you are taking advice under your management, but the whole thing is the fiduciary and transparency. If you're telling the clients that I'm taking the fees, I'm taking the assets under management, and I'll be the managing the portfolio, there should be a clear guidelines. But frankly speaking, that is counterproductive, because that's not in a true spirit of advisory. If a client wants to manage a portfolio, wants a person to manage a portfolio, I think the best option is to go to PMS, not to SEBI RIs. Because SEBI RI's job is the financial portfolio management is part of their job. It's not the only job. So for example, when I create a portfolio, I manage real estate, I manage fixed income, I manage commodities, I manage stocks, I manage ETFs, international portfolio. So my job is more wholesome and a holistic approach. PMS is just part of it. So my recommendation is that to answer your question, if a customer wants to go for a portfolio management, better to go to standalone PMSs.
Understood. Sure. Okay. So just the last part now of this first half of our recording, the final category that has come up in the last 4-5 years are Robo Advisors. And in all folks, if you're listening to this, you know that our podcast is sponsored by we've been associated with Paytm Money for a long time. We've always been thrilled to have them on our show. So Gursimran, tell us about Robo Advisors. What do they do? Because there's this new category also opened up, which is tech driven. People who have an app, and that app just walks me through an entire range of asset classes, primarily mutual funds as of now. And they help me with very basic advice on, how to choose an equity fund, how to choose a debt fund, thing all gold. So what are Robo Advisors, and how would you place them vis-a-vis the traditional advisor, someone like yourself?
Right. So I'm part of many associations. Like, for example, just 4-5 months back, I went to US. So I'm part of San Francisco Association of Financial Planners also. So we keep on discussing this stuff. So, US markets are at least 5 to 6 years ahead of us. And I'm a great believer that your Robo Advisor complements my job rather than it's my competitor. So I don't know why there's so much of discouragement regarding Robo Advisory, because because I will tell you, most of my clients, they manage Robo Advisor as an execution platform. So just to give an example, companies like Paytm and all, they give direct, they sell direct plans, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a good tool either for a do-it-yourself investor, like a person. So a lot of my clients, Anupam, are the do-it-yourself investors also. So for example, they don't know anything, but they come to me for a specific advice, and they take that advice and sell and buy their products from Robo Advisors. Okay, so I believe a future in which Robo Advisors are complementing the traditional advisors. So it's not Robo versus traditional. It's a very beautiful concept because it's making investing easier. In fact, the platforms are offering direct plans, which we are true believer in, that you should not buy regular plans. Plus, it's very convenient way of managing the portfolio also. So I tell all my clients to take the tools to recommend Robo Advisor, because I'm not, as I told you, I'm a pure advisory. I'm not taking assets under my management. So these tools are doing a great help. So it's a complementing my work.
Fantastic. So folks, that is a wrap in the first part of this episode. I'm going to just summarize this entire thing for you. Gursimran, please tell me if I am right. So let's just start from the first very, very, very basic category is the distributor, who essentially is paid by the mutual fund company and who comes to you. He sets up your investment account and recommends specific mutual funds for you to buy. Now, he will be putting you into a regular plan. So that's your first category. Then you've got, like Gursimran said, the fee-only planner, which Gursimran himself is an RIA, a registered investment advisor. This is someone who will take care of your entire financial planning, not just mutual fund guys. Remember, Gursimran said that he does the entire gamut. So you talk real estate, talk commodities, debt, equity, everything. Am I right, Gursimran?
Right, Anupam.
There you go. And then the third category are people who actively manage your money. It could be a PMS, could be whoever. So folks, those are the three categories. I hope that I've got that right, good.
Right. So that category we call AIF, Alternative Investment Management. So you have hedge funds, PMS, which comes under that category.
Understood. Folks, when we come back on the other side of this break, we'll make this personal. We'll get this to you. We will talk about how you can make a better choice or a more informed choice while choosing a financial advisor. We'll also talk about the mistakes that people make when they choose who to trust for financial advice. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. My guest, Gursimran Singh, a fee-only SEBI Registered Investment Advisor and RIA. Gursimran, you have a firm. What's the name of your firm?
Paramasa Wealth Advisory.
Paramasa Wealth Advisory. Folks, that is the name of his firm. You can Google it. You can search it. You will find him there. Gursimran is also he's very active in media. Paramasa, is that like a tribute to your grandfather?
Yes, you got it, Anupam. You got it. So Param is the name of my father, and Asa is my first name. So it's like eternal hope. It's in Hebrew. So Paramasa.
All right, lovely. I think I should do a separate episode with you just on this. But folks, don't worry. We will be right back on this special episode of Paisa Vaisa.
I want to thank Intel for supporting our show. Do you remember when last year we spoke about how the Intel vPro platform is built for business? Well, I'm glad to say we've kicked things up a notch. That's right, Intel is back with a new and improved version of the platform. Optimized with 10th generation Intel Core processors, the platform is just what IT and business users need, especially in times like now when most of us are working from home. The new Intel vPro platform lets you do more of what you want and less of what you don't. So it's better for you and for your IT teams, who really are the backbone of keeping your work from home experience easy and enjoyable. The platform is built to minimize your efforts and maximize your PC productivity, especially when working from home. I can safely say that the new vPro platform gives you more enterprise efficiency with less constraints. Visit intel.in/morewithvpro, that's VPRO, to discover how you can get more done with less waiting. If you're listening on the IVM Podcast Android app, take a look at the screen right now and you'll see a link which will take you directly there.
And welcome back to this episode of Paisa Vaisa, the Know Your Advisor special with Gursimran Singh, a SEBI Registered Investment Advisor and RIA. In the first part of this episode, we were talking about the various types of advisors that are out there. In this episode, we are going to talk about how you can make a smarter decision when it comes to choosing a financial advisor. Gursimran, मुझे अभी आप एक चीज बताइए यार, मतलब ये जो फाइनेंशियल एडवाइस होता है, I can do whatever I want. I can just go onto google.com and say best mutual fund and I'll have like an entire list out there. There are people on Quora, there are people on Twitter, there are people everywhere. In your experience, first of all, tell me what is the need for financial advice? अगर मुझे ये सब मुफ्त का ज्ञान मिल रहा है, तो मैं क्यों जाके किसी को पे करूं मैं? Or why should I go to a person at all? Tell me that.
Okay. See, understand one thing. We are living in a very volatile and a complicated times now. So, what zamana gaya jab when we used to only buy FD and buy real estate at the end of our career, and we used to have a stable job. So now everything is very volatile. Your job is not secure. Your business are not secure. Your assets are not secure. And every day you're feeding with lot of. So we are informed, but we don't have the wisdom. That's a problem in our investment advisory, because everyone is informed that ye lena hai, wo lena hai, but they don't have the wisdom kitna lena hai, kis hisab se lena hai, or goal ke hisab se kaise karna hai. So all that the science which goes against the financial planning is very important. We can Google it and buy that, okay, this product is very good, it has 5 stars. But why it has 5 stars? Whether this product is matching your risk profile or not. And secondly, how much you have to put. Have you done the future value calculation of your goal? Have you done that? What is the percentage of equity in your asset allocation? Whether you will able to manage, you don't know what is the inflation of your child education. So there are a lot of moving parts in a financial plan. So when we sit with the clients, they are all, they either have 100% fixed income, either they will have 100% equity, or other person will keep on doing day trading also. So they all are informed कि products तो अच्छा है, पर कितना लेना है, किस हिसाब से लेना है, that is the more important question. That's where the financial advisor comes. And secondly, Anupam, a job of a financial advisor is not only to create a plan. His job is to coach you also. Okay, his job is to coach you. His job is to educate you also. So it's a purely a very tailor-made service advisor provides. So whenever you're facing problem, your advisor is just a call away. So right now, when the markets are down, a clients call me that he just need to know a soothing voice from other side. Just sab kuch theek hai, koi problem nahi, everything's going according to the plan. Because most of the mistakes a investor makes when during the market crash, either they sell it very early or they buy it at a very expensive level. So advisor is there to coach you on all this.
Yeah, sure. So tell us in your experience, because I'm sure you must be having a lot of people, family, social circle, Paji batao kya karna chahiye abhi, stuff like that. So in your experience, how would you rate the general level of financial awareness among people? Because I've come across all varieties. Some who are totally ignorant, some who are totally overconfident. Dono extreme.
Yes. So you're totally right, Anupam. There are both types of people are there clients are there. So people who are overconfident, they are the risky one, because first of all, we need to understand there's a lot of difference between wealth creation and a wealth management. So I tell you, I have a lot of sometimes ego massaging with my HNI clients, especially because they said that, we have 30-40 crores, we are into business, so we know everything. But I need to put my foot down sometimes. That's, hey, there's a difference. You must be expert in your industry, but wealth management is totally different from wealth creation. So there's a lot of difference between that. So managing wealth is totally different. In managing wealth, we need to preserve your wealth. We need to grow that wealth. you're good in your domain, that is a different story altogether. So a lot of people who are confident with, so when they buy a stock, so I give you an example. So they will buy a stock, it goes up. Oh, I'm intelligent, I know how to buy a stock. One is, or they're very ignorant that okay, a stock, it means. So I've seen clients, they buy futures of a stock thinking that it's a very good company in long term. Can you believe that?
Okay.
They're buying derivatives. Okay, company ka ye Hindustan Unilever is a very good company, मैं उसके futures ले लेता हूँ. They are doing trading with a fundamental mindset.
Amazing. What do you think are the top mistakes? I mean, in general, if I were to ask you 3 most common things that you see with people, one, of course, is just like you said, that you're buying a derivative instrument.
Yeah.
What else is there? What else is out there?
Others are they don't know. They don't know how to. Second mistake which I normally seen is that they try to create. They try to buy financial products which they are not aware of. They too much rely on free social media or their friends and relatives. Okay. See, if you're ill, you will not ask your uncle that मैं कौन सी दवाई खाऊं. You will go to the doctor, right? A financial planner is purely a concept of your general practitioner doctor. So you go to the doctor, he will understand what exactly you need. Accordingly, he will prescribe you. So don't try to be doing everything yourself. And the problem which I normally seen is that they will do their job, and at their lunch hours, they will manage their portfolios. They're trying to do everything themselves. So that's a second mistake. They try to invest all the investment, everything themselves, and they rely too much on social media and on TV. Because when you go to the advisor has a skin in the game. Because he's giving his name to your advice. So that's the reason you need to rely on expert services. Third, which I normally see, is that they do this DIY, do it yourself approach. Okay, I will do everything myself. I will Google it. I will buy the stock. See, there's a difference between IQ and EQ. In investments, EQ is more important than IQ. Correct. How to manage during bull markets, how to manage yourself during the bear market. What are the investment products are suitable to you, whether you know your in risk profile or not. So these things, normally people make mistakes. They buy wrong products which not match their risk profile. They try to buy everything themselves, relying too much on free social media and make mistakes. They don't know the difference. Yeah, this I have really seen with lawyers and doctors who are freelancers. They're not able to differentiate between the company income and their own personal income.
Okay. What does that mean?
So basically, if you're having a law firm or if you're running a hospital, so that hospital gives you 1 crore every year as a profit. Correct. Right? So you need to understand that company is an organization is separate from you. You need to take salary from your business. So people, they're not able to define their own personal income and the income from the business.
So you're saying that अगर मेरा law firm ने एक करोड़ बनाने तो मैं खुद के लिए I can buy a new car for myself because I just feel like it. Is that what?
Yeah, but that law firm is a separate entity.
Exactly. Yeah, you need to look at it that way as a separate thing.
This I normally find in my HNI clients that they treat their business income as their personal income. So I tell them to take salary from their business because your overall business income is not, because your business will fall. Okay, you pay your salaries to the employees. So this is a thing which I normally find in my HNI clients. But for salaried classes, they are not saving, Anupam. I'm telling you, we are going to the USA. I've seen couples, हमें Europe जाना है, हमें यहाँ जाना है. I just recently I was looking at the case. The couple is earning 15 lakhs per month, and their net worth is only 5 lakhs.
Kuch bhi. What are you saying? How is that even possible, boss?
I'm telling you, because the reason is that they have bought a apartment worth 8 crores. Okay.
Oh man.
Okay. And that is that. Husband recently bought this Fortuner. That is on EMI. Uski deni hai. Wife has bought a Vitara. And they went before this coronavirus, they went for a 1 month thing, the Europe tour. And their expenses are very high. They're living rich, but they are not wealthy. There's a difference between being wealthy and being rich.
That's okay, yaar, Gursimran. I would say that मौज मस्ती करने दो उन लोगों को यार. Maybe one.
थोड़ा बचाव भी तो सही ना.
अच्छा सर, आप बोल रहे हो बच्चा हो, मेरे पास तो क्वेरी आती है ऐसी कि सर आपने बोला कि SIP करो, ये करो, वो करो, मैं तो 5 साल में मेरी SIP में मुझे नेगेटिव हो रहा है. How did you know?
हाँ, very good question.
What will you answer to them? Tell me that.
Or I'll tell you. See, understand one thing. Stock markets are the non-linear instruments. Okay. वो आपको एक स्टेबल लाइन पे क्या कहते हैं मार्केट रिटर्न नहीं देता है. कई बार होता है कि 4-5 साल वो आपको कोई रिटर्न नहीं देगा, पर 1 साल की रिटर्न वो 1 साल में दे देगा. That's true. I am being through 5 market crashes, Anupam, in my career. Right from Gulf War to Asian Tigers to Kargil War, 2000 crash, 9/11, 2008, and now this COVID. Okay. That's where the asset allocation comes into the picture. Asset allocation हम बड़ा यू बोलते हैं कि होना चाहिए, पर कोई यूटिलाइज नहीं करता है. एसेट एलोकेशन का मतलब क्या होता है कि इतना मेरा जो मेरे लॉन्ग टर्म गोल्स हैं 7 साल से अबव वो मेरे इक्विटी में होंगे. जो मेरे जितना मेरा गोल शॉर्टर होता है उतना मेरा कंपोनेंट गोल्ड का पैसे का दैट शुड बी इन फिक्स इनकम. जितना लॉन्ग टर्म गोल दैट शुड बी इन इक्विटी. इवन इन इक्विटी ऑल्सो वी नीड टू डू अ टैक्टिव, वी डू एनुअल रिव्यूज जो हमारे फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग में हम करते हैं. So every year we do a review to do any course collection, whether this fund which we have recommended, whether it's beating the benchmark or not. Okay. So we need to keep it in this picture. Just because long term, everyone says long term, markets are not obliged to give you a return if you invest in the market for long term. It's a non-linear instrument. So it will keep on giving that volatile return. And I'll be very honest with you, Anupam, no one will tell you this. 30% of my clients, they don't even invest in stock markets.
Wow. Okay.
Because if their expenses, see, the whole sciences of the withdrawal rate. If I can maintain and this is something which no one will tell you. Okay. If I can maintain my 3% withdrawal rate of my corpus, and that 3% withdrawal rate is equivalent to my annual expenses, I don't need to invest in equities.
Yes.
There's certain clients who just rely on their fixed income and rental incomes.
Yeah. Because my corpus is generating that much for my expenses.
Yes.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. So that's a very specific piece of financial advice that not a lot of people get, and I guess it's also aimed at a certain category of people who have the luxury in life. So yeah, you're right about that. So okay.
Yeah. So I always tell this, Anupam, that money, how much you earn, it doesn't matter that much. How much you're investing that money, that matters a lot.
Sure.
So we need to be consistent with our investments. We should not, and now I've seen a lot of people, they said, I want to take my money out. This is the right time to invest because we go with the concept of rupee cost averaging, NAV. So when the markets are down, our SIPs will buy more of a units.
Okay.
And when markets are up, it will buy less of the unit. That's what the investing is all about, right?
Yeah.
Buy more when its markets values are down, sell high when the markets value are down. So we need to understand whole. So that's the reason I tell you that people try to do everything themselves.
Sure.
So that's the reason that they make a mistake. And stock markets are a non-linear product. It will keep on giving you volatile returns.
Great. Gursimran, let's wrap this up now. Okay. Now, all the learnings that you told us in the last, this second half of our recording and all of that, the people that you've seen, the mistakes that you made, that you see people making when they go for an advisor, let's kind of just make this into some kind of a wish list or checklist. If you can help our listeners on how to choose a financial advisor when they need one. Let's just wrap up our recording on this last question.
Right. So first of all, you need to have the first financial planner is a very personalized and a very customized and very tailor-made service. You need to be comfortable with that person. So the first rule is a person has to be regulated by SEBI because he has to follow that fiduciary role. So your financial planner has to be SEBI RIA. He has to be registered with SEBI because he is bound to follow the regulations of SEBI. That is the first thing you need to check for. Second, please have an introduction call with your financial planner. Ask him what exactly, like for example, anyone who wants to take my service, I tell them to go to my website because in my website, I have my media interactions, I have my articles. A person will come to know that what exactly this person is all about. But please have an introduction call with that advisor. That whether you're comfortable, whether and please frame your questions. I always tell my clients when I have an introduction call, please write down the question which you want to ask me, so that accordingly you will understand whether this person will help you or not. That is second. Ask for his qualification, ask for his previous experience, what he has done. So, And this is the three main pointers which I always recommend my clients, or I will tell your listeners to do that. That please, first, golden rule. The main important part, he should be regulated by SEBI. Second, try inquire about him through his website or take a reference. But frankly speaking, Anupam, I don't believe in reference because that is like a paid promotion. Because testimonials and reference I will only tell the people who are happy with me, right?
Oh. Yes.
Second, and one more important thing.
Okay.
As per SEBI regulation, every SEBI has to have this table on their website that how many complaints this advisor has the client against the investors. So as per SEBI regulation, we need to have that table on our website that uske against kitni complaints aayi hain.
Okay.
So you need to check that also. Because as per the SEBI regulation, we are bound to put that table on our website. Till now, itni complaints mere against aayi hain ya zero aayi hai. Thankfully, in my case, it's zero right now.
Kya baat hai. Lovely. Very good.
Yeah. So that check for that also.
Sure.
Please talk to your advisor. Try to understand whether he's able to help you or not. Because like a lot of advisors, they don't suggest direct equities. So I do that because that's what I'm doing for past 25 years. So please tell them whether this advisor is able to help you or not. Okay. अगर आपको direct equity का portfolio बनाना है, अगर advisor कहता है मैं नहीं बनाऊंगा, तो it's no use. So please understand. So again, I'm repeating this. It's a very customized thing. Talk to your advisor. He should the minimum, the most important thing. Kitni complaints aayi, check that on their website. He should be SEBI regulated. Have an introduction call with him. Check through media interactions how he has done and all that. Take references if you can. Normally, Anupam, to be very honest with you, 60 to 70% of my clients come through the referrals only. Like if I have given one service to one person, that person will refer that his uncle or his chacha and everything. So that's how the business grows.
Lovely. So, folks, that is happen. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, but the final thought to your listeners are that he should be SEBI regulated. He should have a complaint box on his website. Have an introduction call with him. Try frame your questions. Look for his qualifications. Look for his experience. Inquire about all that. That what is his experience in this domain? What is his qualification? Please ask all that. Ask.
Yeah. I can see. I mean, I'm on your website right now as we're talking, and it's exactly what you were saying. So, folks, if you want to know more about Gursimran, his website is paramasa.com. I'll spell that out for you. That's paramasa.com. It's a tribute to his grandfather, who's, awesome personality. So you can know more about Gursimran on his website, and his website is fairly comprehensive. It has his services, his fees, his introduction, media, and all that stuff. So, Gursimran, how can our listeners reach out to you directly?
So, on my website, they can directly go to my website. My contact details are there. They can ping me. They can write a mail to me. So it's very simple. My number is there. So I'm more of a boutique advisory. So I interact with all my clients. I have my staff who's an admin, but I believe this is a very customized service. So I interact only with my clients, so they can call me anytime. So I have my number on the website.
Fantastic. I just had a look at that. So folks, you want to check out the profile of Gursimran and his firm, like I said, paramasa.com, paramasa.com. And that is a wrap on this episode of Paisa Vaisa, the Know Your Advisor special. My guest, Gursimran Singh. A really colorful background you've got, Gursimran. I mean, I'm sure there is much more to your advisory part, and we hope to get you back on our show once again.
Thank you, Anupam.
Yeah. Just one last question for our listeners, Gursimran. Can you just give us some thoughts on where, what's your outlook for the markets, not just stock markets, but in general, for people who are looking to build their financial future in this kind of a situation where was itna depression hai, itna pata nahi, now how do I put it? You would also know this because I'm sure all of us are going through this really difficult time.
Right.
Just let's wrap up with your take on that. Maybe some, maybe words of hope or whatever it is. Let's end this on a positive note.
So I just tell them that this is not a first time and this will not be a last time, because in markets we go through all the crashes. So as I told you that I'm in my 24 years of investment, I've been through 5 crashes, right? So life goes on. We still need our toothpaste. We still need our Nestle cafes. The stocks will still earn. So understand one thing. The listener should be aware of this. 90% of the market action which you see nowadays is trading. Only 10% is delivery. Okay. So this 90% things which you're looking at is algo trade, computerized trading, and all that. So that's the reason there's so much of volatility you see in the market. But the investors, the mutual fund investors, they keep on sticking. And I'll be this is a very good data which has come today, that people, they have not sell off like the last time. They're sticking to their investments. So my suggestion to the viewers are, stick to your investments, stick to your long-term financial goals. And one more important thing, with most of the people, they're not aware, please create an emergency fund of at least 8 months of your expenses. Because normally what happens is that you don't have a job or something, you will take the money from your investments which are losing. So it's a double whammy to you. So the golden rule of a financial plan, when I create a financial plan, is that 8 months of your expenses, household, should be in an emergency fund, a good liquid fund, or a government security fund, or an overnight fund. And don't stop your SIPs. Keep on sticking to that. And third, I've seen a lot of people who are coming that I want to invest in the market now because it's sitting at home and doing so. No, if you're not aware of the market, please don't do that. So the market, this is not a first time, Anupam, and this will not be a last time. Sure. My research, as per my analysis, if we have the vaccine, everything is taken care of. But this will take time. For next 7-8 months, the market will have a slow recovery. But for the investors, stick to their SIP. Please create an emergency fund. I don't want you to take money during your emergencies from your investments. So that's a golden rule. Please create an emergency fund in liquid fund. And please follow an asset allocation. Please don't put all your money into fixed income and all your money into equity. Okay. You need to have a balance.
Great. Folks, that is a wrap on this episode of Paisa Vaisa, the Know Your Advisor special with Gursimran Singh, a fee-only SEBI Registered Investment Advisor based in Delhi. I hope that you had a good time listening to this and you got some really good information on how to choose a financial advisor. Gursimran Singh, thank you so much for doing this recording for us on Paisa Vaisa.
Thank you, Anupam. Thank you for this opportunity.
No material on the show should be considered as financial advice. The material on the show is for informational purposes only. Please consult a financial advisor before taking any investment decision.
I hope you enjoyed that show. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money and Intel. We appreciate their support. It's been a really fun week, guys. We've had some great episodes on your old favorites. Cyrus Says, Advertising is Dead, Edges and Sledges, Football had a really fun episode as well. Definitely do check it out. I'm sure you're going to enjoy yourselves. And thanks for listening, and we hope to catch you again next week.
Namaskar, this is Ashish Vidyarthi. Yes, my friend, these are challenging times, but in these challenging times, we can create something extraordinary. Do take time to listen to my podcast, Begin the Journey, available on the IVM Podcast, website, app, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, we have a great opportunity called life. Cheers.
Do you wish you were smarter? Well, so do we. But the next best thing?
We could make you sound smarter.
And to help you with this endeavor, we are Simplified, a podcast that attempts to break down the complex world around you with a little knowledge, a lot of poor jokes, and a ton of random trivia.
Episodes out every Monday
on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts.
See ya!